The French couldn't command sufficient taxes to finance itself. This led to conflicts with aristocratic institutions. This is why the Estates General was summoned. They had not met since 1614. Once they convened, a new set of issues emerged that led to the Revolution.
This was where the French Revolution started. The financial crisis of the monarchy meant that it could no longer function within the limits and practices of existing political institutions. The finances and debt of France was the real issue.
The members consisted of local officials, professionals, and other persons of property. Originally, they refused to sit as a separate order as the king desired. Then the Third Estate invited the clergy and nobles to join in organizing a new legislative body, which became the National Assembly.
Louis XVI tried to regain political initiative by mastering troops near Paris. He also dismissed Necker, who was the Minister of Finance. Both of these were an attempt to undermine the Assembly and halt the revolution. In retaliation, the partisans organized a citizen militia and collected arms. They intended to protect the Assembly.
Royal troops created anxiety in the city, where throughout the winter and spring, the high prices of bread produced riots. After Necker was dismissed, the citizens considered this a direct attack against them. This is when they initiated the revolution.
In June of 1791, the royal family, unable to live under the revolution, attempted to escape to Austria. They knew retaining power of the country was what they needed to do. However, Louis was too cowardly. When they tried to sneak away in the night disguised as peasants, they got caught at the border.
In April of 1792, the leaderless France declares war on Austria. Though Robespierre thought it was too soon to start any wars, others felt the countries of Europe were threatening the revolution.
In August of the same year, a mob storms the Parisian palace and takes Louis prisoner. Still upset about his near escape, they arrest him on charges of treason.
The escape of Louis enraged the citizens of the revolution. This was a motive for arresting him, and it fed their anger and hatred for him.
On September 21st, 1792, the National Convention met to discuss the future of France. As its first act, it declared France as a republic, a nation governed by an elected assembly without a monarch.
In January of 1793, Robespierre believed that in order to fulfill the revolution, the monarch had to die. Louis was convicted of his charges and said his final goodbyes to his family before he was sent to the guillotine.
You can stand me up at the gates of hell.
Well, this guy Robespierre, he knew that the only way to truly eliminate the way of life under Louis was to kill the king himself. So they sent Louis to the guillotine in order to fulfill the revolution.
From the summer of 1793 to the summer of 1794 was a period of time of excessive executions. Robespierre sentenced hundreds of thousands of people to the guillotine, sweeping an extreme panic across France. No one was safe.
In the spring of 1794, the French army came out victorious on all fronts, making them feel like a real nation with power.
At the height of his power in May 1794, Robespierre was beginning to be seen as a threatening power for the country. In many ways, he made it seem like he wished to be worshipped as a god and treated like a king. In July, Robespierre made an out-of-place speech stating that he had a new list of victims who were to be executed, but he refused to release all the names. The next day, he was arrested, and in a failed suicide attempt, he shot himself. He was executed the next day, ending the Reign of Terror.
Robespierre was becoming a tyrant in the eyes of most of the people. They had already decapitated one monarch, and they sure weren't looking for another. They felt there was nothing to do but put him in his place.
The convention abandoned the old constitution, replacing it with a new document. It stated that there would be two houses. The first consisted of the Council of Elders, the second was the Council of 500. The Council of 500 submitted a list of names to the Council of Elders, who would choose 5 people to be on the Directory, which was the executive branch.
Economic troubles and dangerous international situations eroded the Directory's weak support. When word got out that a new constitution was being proposed, Napoleon hurried back from the battlefield in Egypt to take advantage of it. Napoleon's popularity was used to promote this new constitution. However, his ability to manipulate his way to power was misjudged. In December 1799, he issued the Constitution of the Year 8. It established the rule of one man, which would be Bonaparte.
As the French Revolution swept across its nation, it also left a huge impact on Europe as a whole. Though their cause was noble, it came at a cost. Hundreds of thousands of people died, including a king and the front-runner of the revolution, and it would forever leave a mark in history.
In winter and spring, the high prices of bread had produced riots.
You have to start over.
So that the only way to truly eliminate the way of life under Louis
I want to go.
Hold on.
Now? The attempted escape them.
Are you ready?
Of the royal troops.
Are you
Is
ready?
it in? And let's.
Practices of existing political institutions. The finances and depth of the debt.
Try to look at the camera.
Can you now?
It's good.
Yeah. Christ.
God, stop it! We're trying to do this.